Two quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds of your fantasy football draft. Is that crazy? Should you do it? Should you just quit fantasy football if you do something like that? Going to talk about why I did this. It's not something I usually do, but it was a really interesting scenario. It's called the double bully quarterback situation, and I'll break it all down. Before I do, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. We have new content every single day: fantasy football rankings, sleepers, busts, picks against the spread for the NFL, and also some other sports, including college football and basketball. We grade every signing, we grade every trade, and a lot more. It's all free at walterfootball.com. So check it out. So I did this fantasy draft the other day. I had the 12th pick here, which I like the 12th pick a lot more than the first pick. It feels like there are like 14, 15 first round caliber players. So you get two of them at 112 and 201. I'd rather have the 11th pick because then you know what the other guy is doing at the 12th spot. So just a small preference, but I think I did pretty well to start here. I took Brian Thomas Jr. and Devon Achane. HN as is a lot of risk, and if this were just like a regular home fantasy football league, I don't know if I would have pulled the trigger on HN, but this is best ball, and HN is just so much better in best ball because of his upside. Love Brian Thomas Jr., an amazing player. I know they drafted Travis Hunter, but he's still going to have a great year. And then Omarion Hampton at 312. I have not been drafting Hampton. In fact, he was on my bust list, but Najee Harris had the fireworks situation. Not sure why he's playing with fireworks. You'd think he would have learned from Jason Pierre-Paul from back in the day. But yeah, he has an eye issue. The Chargers signed Nyheim Hines, so I don't know. I don't know. It sounds pretty dubious. I'd be worried if I were him. Or I'd be worried if I were any Najee Harris fantasy owner, should say. Then I went Jaden Daniels at 401. I don't love the fourth round. I've been talking about a lot how like the fourth round is the dead zone. So I just try to get a quarterback. You know, there are 5 elite quarterbacks this year: Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, and Joe Burrow. Not in any particular order. So I've been trying to get one of those guys. So I got Daniels at 401. I was pretty happy, and then came around to me at 512 and 601. And somehow, some way, Joe Burrow was on the board. Joe Burrow typically goes mid fourth round, late fourth round. Sometimes he sneaks into the fifth round, but it's rare. I don't know how he fell to me at 601. That was crazy. So I thought, hey, I could either take someone else, maybe Travion Henderson or Rome Odunze, someone like that, or I could take Joe Burrow and have a unique situation where I have 2 top 5 quarterbacks, which means all the other teams, except for 3 others, don't have an elite quarterback. Um, so I obviously know you can only play one of them, but in a best ball type of situation where you don't have to kind of figure out which one to start because the top scorer is always going to be in the lineup. I thought this was a good situation, and I felt like, okay, these are the only 2 quarterbacks I'm going to draft. I'll just spend the other picks on other positions, and it just took care of my quarterbacks here. Let me know what you think. Like, would you have done this? I think it's a unique situation. I just feel like it's the best player available by far, Joe Burrow, 601. I couldn't pass up on it. Otherwise, my receivers are Calvin Ridley. Love Ridley to make a big leap this year. Josh Downs, Emeka Ibuka, one of my favorite players in the mid rounds. I think Ibuka is going to have a huge year. Trey Harris, he's growing on me like Mike Williams was. He announced retirement, so he's gone. Then there's Tyler Warren. Then I got a bunch of running backs: Jaden Blue, who has electric talent; Isaac Orendo, who could win a league if McCaffrey goes down; Algier, same thing with Bijan. I took Ertz to pair with Jaden Daniels, and I drafted Alec Pierce and Dante Thornton. We just had Charlie Campbell on our live show. Charlie gave his blessing for Thornton. He's hearing Thornton is the real deal. So I'm targeting Thornton in the round 15, 16 area as much as I can. And then a couple of sleepers here: Brashard Smith, Keaton Mitchell, Tyler Higbee, of course, to draft Higbee all the time, and Jalen Lane, who, he might see a lot of action if McLaurin holds out and Noah Brown is injured. Noah Brown, he had an MRI in June, and then we haven't heard anything from it since. I have no idea what's going on with him. So there's an opportunity for Jalen Lane to get on the field. So I usually talk about the worst teams by round. I thought I'd look at how some of these teams started and see if they did a good job. So team 1, Big Mitchie. Can't say I like this. Lamar Jackson, tad early, but I don't hate it. What I do hate is Alvin Kamara 412. The Saints are terrible, and so late in the year in the fantasy playoffs, if they're gunning for the number one pick, they just may not give Kamara any carries. So that's going to be very painful for him. Chris Godwin, 6'12". I don't think he's going to play till mid to late October. Just so much negativity with him and the injuries. And Travis Etienne, just a wasted pick. So I'm confident we're better than Big Mitchie here. Matt 11, 110, 281. Not sure why there's so many numbers there. He took 5 receivers in the first 6 rounds, which isn't the worst, but Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, like Hill is old and relies on speed. Waddle is a pyramid scheme, to quote our frequent guest Butters. And I don't trust Miami's offense at all this year. Miami's offense is just it just could be just capsized by a Tua injury. Concussion will just end his career probably at this point. And the offensive line sucks. So I would not take anyone on Miami. James Cook at 4'11 is okay. Not crazy about that. Draft Junkie at the 3 spot went Barkley first, but then a little bit of a reach with Garrett Wilson. And then, Cooper Kupp at 703, just an atrocious pick. You can't, I wouldn't not even draft Cooper Kupp in like the 15th round. I think he's done. There's just no reason to take him. First time, by the way, he's going to be playing without Sean McVay as his coach in a run first offense. So it just seems like he's going to be a huge bust. P.S. Clavos. He's one of the guys who took one of the elite quarterbacks at 304. I think Laporta and Myers aren't great picks. Feels like he should have taken them each a round later than they went, and even Myers maybe 2 rounds later. Khalil Shakir, just in a best ball format, is awful. I don't like this team at all, so I'm confident we're better than the first 4 teams. M. Cooper 2300. He started with 2 running backs and went some receivers. McMillan's way too early for him. He's I don't trust the Carolina passing offense. Deebo Samuel too early. So not a fan of this team at all. Tony Hurd also took 5 receivers in the first 6 rounds, but I like his receivers a lot more than Matt 110, 281s. All solid players here. I can't see anything wrong with this team outside of Junkins in the 10th round. I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe he was an auto draft at that point. But I don't know if Junkins is even going to play this year. So it's pretty dicey to take him there. Team number, but I'd say if all the teams talked about so far, I think Tony Hurd's team is the best so far. Team 7, so he stacked AJ Brown with Jalen Hurts, which is nice. There's high upside with McCaffrey, kind of like my pick in Achane, but there's low floor. So if this were a home league, I would disapprove of McCaffrey, but in a best ball type format where you have to outscore 1,000 people in week 17, I think McCaffrey is a decent pick in the first round. I don't like Chris Olave. I don't like Stephon Diggs. Olave is a player on a bad team, which I avoid. Unless it's like an elite player like Malik Neighbors. And then Stephon Diggs, he's 31. He's injured, and he's playing in a run-first offense. Just don't trust it at all. The rest of the team's not bad. This team's not bad, but just a couple missteps there. Team number 8 with drafting Puka Nacua, Drake London in the first couple rounds. Then he went with Chase Brown, George Kittle. Like, these are all solid picks. Not crazy about Montgomery, but I don't absolutely hate the picks. So I think RB Profin, whatever this guy's name is, I think he and Tony Hurd are probably my top 2 competitions so far. Mr. Manager went Neighbors and Bowers. Not like a terrible start. I think Bowers is too early here, but I mean, obviously he's going to be a good player for him. I just rather go with Brown or London McConkey, someone like that instead, or maybe even one of the running backs too. Mike Evans, not crazy about that. Hunter, he took, I think, a little too early. Mayfield a little too early, but he got good value with Caleb Johnson, so I guess that balances that out. This team's not bad. It seems like a pretty decent team, but not one of the best, but feels like he could be in contention. Stacky Venigan, it's kind of the name got cut off. Sorry, Stacky. So he took Collins, Rice, and Worthy. I won't draft Rice and Worthy together. It just seems not great. And he paired them with Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to have a bounce back year in fantasy, but I'm not like in the 6th round, like 2 picks after Burrow. Like, he should have just taken Burrow 5'10". I know he wanted to stack the Chiefs, but like, come on, like Burrow is just such a better fantasy quarterback. RJ Harvey, don't like. Charlie, who we spoke about before, he thinks the Broncos are going to rotate multiple running backs, which I agree. They have Dobbins, they have Harvey, they have guys from last year. Don't forget about Estime. Like, they liked him last year. So I think that people just assume that Harvey's going to take the job, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Golden, I wouldn't take these Packer receivers. I just think that's a big mistake. So not crazy about the Stacky team. And then Jay Guth, 234. He started with Henry, St. Brown, Brees Hall, not bad. Moore and Flowers are solid. Connor, he's past his prime, but he could have one more good year. Travis Kelsey is a complete waste. Don't draft Travis Kelsey. Unless like Rushy Rice is out suspended for the entire year or something, which I don't think is going to happen. Kelsey just doesn't do anything in the regular season anymore, so that's just a waste of seventh round pick. Outside of that, and it's weird he took Andrews. Just like take Andrews in the 10th round. Don't take two tight ends in the first two in the first 10 rounds. It's just a big mistake. And like some of these guys don't have upside, like Kirk Brown. He took no, sorry, he took no, he took three quarterbacks. I'm sorry. Yeah, not crazy about this team either. But it's not bad. So that is the breakdown of this fantasy draft. Let me know who you think had the best team. Am I crazy for drafting two quarterbacks in the sixth round, even though Burrow is an amazing steal at 601? Let me know what you think. And yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff. It would really mean a lot to us. We're almost at 5,000 subs. So if you could help get us there, would we really appreciate it. And visit walserfootball.com for tons of content every single day. And it's all free. So I will talk to you in the next video.